sooner if we could, but Luana had been badly injured when we fled the castle. Even with her werewolf healing and Thea's healing spells, it had taken her a month to recover, and she wasn't fully healed yet. But, like us, she was tired of waiting. The sun dipped, and the orange sky was transitioning to blue. Sometimes, the world outside seemed like a foreign country, a distant planet, a fantasy movie we weren't a part of. I had thought about giving everything up many times. I knew Thea had thought about it too. But it wasn't that simple. Not anymore. "I can't wait to get this over with," Thomas said in a low voice. "Once we win this fight, this war, I can focus on my own problem." He glanced down at his hands. "I can find out who killed my parents and be free." My gut twisted. I could end his misery right now. I could give him peace right this instant. But every time I opened my mouth to tell him, the words wouldn't come out. I had practically raised him. I knew he cared for me as if I were his older brother. What would happen if I told him I had killed his parents? Would he find peace? Would he leave this world? If he did, it would be with anger in his heart. I cleared my throat. We still have a lot to do before that. "I know." He let out a long sigh. "The sun is almost down. I'm going to check on Luana." With that, he disappeared through the wall. I kept staring at the darkening sky, sure this was some kind of punishment. For what? For being a vampire? For having killed innocent lives? For not telling Thomas the truth since the beginning? I exhaled deeply. I had done so many bad things in my long life, I didn't even like to remember them. I regretted most of them, though I knew there were times when I didn't have a choice. Doing the bad deed had been my only option. Her soft footsteps echoed in my ears. No matter how sneaky she tried to be, I always heard her coming. I glanced over my shoulder as she pushed the door open and stepped inside my study. She saw me standing in front of the window and smiled at me. And, like magic, all the regret, the guilt, and the sadness left me. Thea had that effect on me. Whenever she looked at me with so much pride and love in those bright gray eyes, I forgot all the bad, all the dark, all the ugly. Together, we had big plans for a bright future, not just for the two of us, but for all supernaturals. "Damn it," she whispered, closing the door behind her. "And here I thought I would get you this time." One corner of my lips curled up. "You'll never be able to sneak up on me." Walking toward me, she shrugged. "It won't hurt to try." No, it won't. I could also tell her that besides her footsteps, her sweet scent always gave her away. I could smell her even if she was over 300 feet from me. Vampires had an increased sense of smell, but I believed it was more than that. It was like the pull I felt toward her and she felt toward me. I was sure the fact that her scent was so strong and alluring to me was because of whatever bond we shared. When Thea was in reaching distance, I grabbed her arm and pulled her to me. I wrapped my arms around her waist and leaned my head on her shoulder, taking in more of her addicting scent. She wound her arms around my neck. "Hello to you, too," she whispered, her tone husky. Desire coursed through me. My fangs elongated, and I grazed their sharp tips over her skin. She inhaled sharply. "What are you trying to do?" "Just enjoying my love." I forced my fangs to retreat. Even though Thea kept offering her blood to me, I tried taking only a little sip here and there because she had been so weak. It was a relief to hear the stable beat of her heart and see her so strong. I pulled back and looked at her beautiful eyes, at her rosy cheeks, her small nose, her pink lips. She seemed healthy right now. "Glad to see you feeling better." "It's good to feel better." She stood on tiptoes and brushed her lips.